Defending in FC25 after the patch is not easy. After EA nerfed the AI defending, there is a lot of manual defending involved, which makes it super difficult not to concede. But I have 6 tricks for you today, guys, that can help you a lot to concede a lot less and make the dominancy on your opponent to get more wins, and also to defend better to concede less goals and get better ranks in FC25 Rivals and Weekend League. Team of the Year is finally here, and if you need to afford your favorite Team of the Year player, go to lootbar.gg. Their prices are 10% cheaper than any other platforms, and also by using my promo codes you can get another 8% off and also another 8% extra bonus coins on top of your coins. Many amazing content creators that you know are using Lootbar, and with their fast delivery you can have your coins within 30 minutes, and they have a great user review base as well. Don't forget to use my promo code BARDS to get extra 8% off, and the link is in the description. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is BARDS here. I'm here with a new type of video, guys. A lot of you told me that you're struggling with defending after the patch in FC25. Absolutely, after the AI defending being nerfed by EA, it's going to be really difficult for us to defend, but I come up with the 5 most important tips and tricks that you can improve your defending in games, guys. I got rank 2 last Weekend League. I concede goals in some games, but in a lot of games I managed to defend with the 5 tricks that I'm telling you, so make sure to watch the entire video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Leave your comments for me if you have any questions. I will read them all and answer to your questions, guys, and let's get into it. So first and foremost, defensive tips that I can tell you, which is the most important one, guys, and the easiest one, is not to switch to your center backs and your right or left back as much as possible, and do not take them out of position, because this way you're going to be punished easily. As you can see in these screens, guys, the moment that my opponents are switching to their center backs and they're trying to pull them out of the position, it's always put a huge gap behind the opponent's lines, which gives you a lot of space to go behind the opponent defense. So this way you can easily score goals, and that's why you shouldn't switch to your center backs as much as possible, and try to track back with your center mids or with your CDMs, and defend with your attackers and your CDMs and your midfields as much as possible, and keep your center backs and your full backs for the last resort to get the ball when you have no other choice. So this is extremely important to keep them in position and don't pull them out of the position to leave the gaps behind you guys to concede easy goals. The other very simple trick that I would tell you that it can be really useful to use the standing tackles, especially in your defense. Very accurate, and do not use them if you are not sure that you are going to make it. With the changes that EA made in the game, guys, if you use the standing tackles, which you can perform it with holding the circle in PlayStation or holding B in Xbox, you can perform standing tackles. But after the patch, guys, if you do that, as you can see, my opponents got punished easily because they did the standing tackles, especially with center backs, just spamming them, and this way it gave me enough opportunity to make my build-ups and easily go behind the defenders and score goals. So for you to be able to maximize your defending, you have to make sure to make your switching in the best way possible, which will go over it, and this way you make sure that you do perform the standing tackles, which they are going to come across a lot handy when you know 100% you are close to your opponent enough to get the ball back. So make sure to use them when it's necessary and when you can do it. It's not the era of the before patch that you can just spam the standing tackles, and if you do so, you are going to get punished easily and your opponent can score a lot of goals from this mistake, guys. The third one is very important as well, guys. It's going to be very helpful, especially especially against the opponents that who are playing agile and dribbling football. You need to use, I would call this system a drag back, and then using Jockey system to perform Jockey, regular Jockey, you have to hold L2 or LT in PlayStation and Xbox, and to perform the speed Jockey you need to hold R2 and L2 in PlayStation and RT and LT in Xbox. Now how to do it is you can use this for one-to-ones, especially when you have no other choice. You don't want to overcome it to your opponent. You want to drag your players to the back slowly and read your opponent's game first to see what they are going to perform before they come close to you. So don't go on top of your opponents with your players, and instead try to drag them to the back. Use L2 and R2 for Jockey and keep the control of your player easily by bringing them to the back, and then when you see the opportunity is there, easily bring your player and commit to the front, and then use the standing tackles that we were talking about, and this way you can get the ball back easily, and your opponent is going to be confused by what defending moves you want to do, because the game has been changed a lot, and definitely it's not easy to defend against everyone, especially the opponents who are passing the ball around fast. But the opponents who are not passing the around fast and they're trying to use the skill moves and they're trying to go down your wings and stuff like that, you can easily perform Jockey, bring your players to the back, and then commit when you need to commit when they have no passing options, and this way you can get the ball back easily, guys. The fourth one is the easy one, guys. It's the second man press. It's very useful. So to perform the second man press, you have to hold R1 or RB in PlayStation and Xbox. When you want to close your opponents, especially when your opponent is in a very small space and you can control one of your players, let's say you're left back, and then you are going to second man press with your center mids or your CDMs to bring them over, and then with switching over to your CDM, easily you can perform sliding tackle. But this works on the wings as well. When your opponent goes behind your left or right backs and they're trying to go down the wing to send the pass, first of all, again, you need to cut the passing lanes with your players, but at the same time, if they pass by you, you can use one of your players to go after the ball, and with the R1 or RB you can second man press easily to get closer to your opponent, and this way with two players you're going to apply pressure to get the ball back easily as soon as possible, guys. The fifth trick is to make sure to maximize your right stick switching combined with L1 switching, because after the patch it's very easy to switch players, especially with right stick, and keep the sensitivity maybe on lower style. So this way you can easily switch between your center backs when they are past your CMs, so you can switch and make sure to confuse your opponent and keep an eye on what the moves they're doing and the drag back that I told you, and switch back again to the player that who can get the ball back. And this way with right stick or L1 combination, right stick is more towards switching to the right player, but L1 is when your opponent is in the box and there is no time left, so you have one defender that is like trying to protect the opponent's attackers, and the other one is waiting for the pass to the other player. So when the opponent perform the pass, you can hit the L1 and switch to the right player with a standing tackle to get the ball back as soon as possible, guys. And one last trick, which is very important, guys, is to maximize the offside traps. If you are playing the depth below 60, you need to automatically do the offside traps. To perform that, you have to trigger up on your D-pad 2 times to perform the offside trap. However, I don't use this, guys, because after the patch, the 70 depths will give you still the offside trap automatically and also apply pressure. So if you follow the 5 tricks that I mentioned before this, you can easily drag back and also track back your opponents, especially when you have a high line, to avoid like through passes, long through passes. But at the same time, with right stick and L1 switching, you can get the ball back easily. So my recommendation is to keep your depth on defensive depth on 70 and higher, and this way you are going to be a beast into the field and your opponent will scare off you and your pressure all over him all game, and easily you can improve your defending and your offside traps and make your opponent being in offside a lot more, guys. And this was everything for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I will see you in my next videos. Peace a deuce.